will be handled tomorrow at 10 a.m. So let's cross the bridge when we get there. Just take it from me as the chairperson of caucus that we have agreed to support the bill as presented by the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs in fulfillment of the Supreme Court ruling. And the Supreme Court ruling was equally clear on issues of exceptional circumstances. I don't want us to move into that, but I have here quotes I can make from the ruling, because I hear there are people who are saying, no, Supreme Court did not mention anything to do with exceptional circumstances. It agreed that civilians can be tried in the military court or tribunal, but only under exceptional circumstances. And those exceptional circumstances have been proposed in the UPDF amendment bill that will be considered by Parliament tomorrow.
Did you also talk about...
Somebody is now saying 3 in 1. So somebody has committed 3 wrong in your humble opinion. He has said 3 in 1. Somebody has committed 3 wrong or 3 illegalities in your humble opinion. Wouldn't that constitute an exceptional circumstance? First of all, I've acquired a gun.
Either legally or illegal?
No, illegally. Please mark it illegally. Don't now bring me into another. I can see the zone where you're taking me. I am talking about you and me, a civilian who proceeds to acquire a gun illegally.
What if it's illegal?
That is the first wrong. Then you proceed to commit an offense with a gun acquired illegally and voluntarily, while knowing that under the law, you can also acquire legally. There's a window created. But for you, you have suspended everything. The exception under the law off. You get it illegally, you commit an offense. In our opinion, that would be construed to form an exceptional circumstance, because ordinarily a gun is supposed to be held by members of the armed forces. But for you, you have bypassed the window of holding it legally as a civilian. You acquire it illegally, commit an offense. So I think it is clear. Nobody should be telling Ugandans that all civilians will be tried under the UPDF Act. That is wrong. The Supreme Court of Uganda was very, very clear that civilians primarily should be tried in the civilian court. If you are trying a civilian in the military court or tribunal, it should only be under exceptional circumstances, and those exceptional circumstances, as proposed, are contained in the bill that will be debated with effect from tomorrow.
Let's have Rachel.
Thank you so much, Chief Whip. Mine is Kaunda suits things about which kind of shoes should be worn or should be gazetted for the UPDF. Have you talked about some of these clauses that are going to be amended in the bill and they are agreed on by the Attorney General and the Minister?
We did not, as caucus, proceed into the details of handling the bill clause by clause, because caucus had already been earlier on agreed. But we have also agreed that in handling the bill as presented, our frontline commander will be the principal legal advisor of government constitutionally. That is the learned Attorney General. So if there are issues, we shall cross the bridge when we get there tomorrow. For now, we have agreed to support the bill as presented. I think we need to understand this bill. First of all, this bill is not all about exceptional circumstances. The bill is about the welfare of our brothers and sisters, fellow countrymen and women who have joined the UPDF. The issue of pension, the issue of gratuity, the issue of retirement, the issue of those under the reserve force. So the bill is not only about the exceptional circumstances. The bill also will introduce members who qualify to be judges or enrolled advocates to be appointed to preside over military court-martials. The bill will also grant a right of appeal from the military court-martial to the civilian courts, among others. The bill will also establish exceptional circumstances where a civilian can be tried in the military court. And I have told you that if Obua voluntarily and illegally acquires a gun, which is a preserve of the armed forces, and he proceeds to commit an offense, those are now two wrongs that we must, that is what will constitute what we call an exceptional circumstance. And those circumstances that would fall under exceptional circumstances are already proposed in the bill that will be handled tomorrow at 10 a.m. So let's cross the bridge when we get there. Just take it from me as the chairperson of caucus that we have agreed to support the bill as presented by the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs in fulfillment of the Supreme Court ruling. And the Supreme Court ruling was equally clear on issues of exceptional circumstances. I don't want us to move into that, but I have here quotes I can make from the ruling, because I hear there are people who are saying, no, Supreme Court did not mention anything to do with exceptional circumstances. It agreed that civilians can be tried in the military courts or tribunal, but only under exceptional circumstances. And those exceptional circumstances have been proposed in the UPDF amendment bill that will be considered by Parliament tomorrow.
Did you also talk about
Circumstances implying any civilian who voluntarily acquires a firearm, which is a preserve of the armed forces, illegally, without taking advantage of the window in the law for a civilian to acquire a private arm legally, and proceeds to commit an offense, that particular civilian will be culpable for trial under the prescribed exceptional circumstances in the UPDF amendment bill if passed into law. I hope I am clear.
What has changed?
We shall convene Parliament, or Parliament shall be convened by the presiding officer under the rules of procedure, and everything will flow as guided by the rules of procedure. These rules were set in place long time ago. We are not putting them tomorrow. Rules of any game cannot be set during. The rules were set before. So I urge members to follow the rules of procedure of Parliament. Every bill presented and referred to a committee, the committee is given time to consult with stakeholders. If invited stakeholders do not appear, you cannot fault it on the committee. If they are invited or given the latitude to appear and they choose not to appear, they should not fault it on the committee. If they are not invited, they can fault the committee. But the procedure of Parliament is you are given time to consult, and every Ugandan can appear before a committee within that prescribed period of time. If they have chosen not to, then that is not the fault of the committee. But the issue is they were given time. Do you agree? Do you agree? Absolutely.
Sir, was that the last answer?
Yes, please. Like previously, before it was banned, people have been taken to court-martial just because they are putting on either long boots or overalls or some berets that are not for the army. And that makes them worry. For you passing the law again. Probably targeting them, take them there after legalizing.
For putting on what?
direct.
So if I put on the dress code of an archbishop and I appear here, wouldn't you all be surprised? If I come here fully robed like a bishop, wouldn't you be surprised? And you will start throwing questions. Which school of theology did Obua go to? Yes, you will. Are made for posterity. And we believe the law we are making is for posterity. The Bible talks about times and seasons for everything. It is our time. It is our season. The laws we make, in our own opinion, are good enough, including this law. That is why I've said, unless you are not a law-abiding citizen. This law is supposed to ensure that issues in relation to illegal acquisition of firearms is either reduced or stopped for those who acquire it illegally and proceed to commit an offense. Must come to an end. That will protect your brother, your sister, your mother, your grandfather, who may be a victim of any Ugandan who has an illegal firearm. Your brother, your sister may be a target. So those are the people that the law will deal with. Not you and me who are law-abiding citizens. Law-abiding citizens of Uganda must never and ever be worried about this bill. To the contrary, this bill protects the public from civilians who have acquired guns illegally. So to me, there is no worry. Our brothers and sisters are members of the UPDF. The bill is meant to better their welfare primarily. So there is really no cause for alarm, in my humble opinion, unless you are not a law-abiding citizen of Uganda.
Use this opportunity to warn them. Those guys who came in plain clothes entered the chamber. Now take this opportunity to warn them, because
that message.
My mandate is to chair the NRM Parliamentary Caucus and two, to ensure that members of the NRM
Are safe.
attend plenary, and anything beyond that does not fall within my mandate. So my mandate is that I am here reporting to you on the decision of a meeting I chaired and the fact that we are mobilizing our members to come tomorrow and attend to plenary as prescribed under the rules of procedure of Parliament. That is where I stop. Anything beyond that,